Okay, good evening, everyone. Please do me a favor and type your name in the chat before we start. And I would really appreciate if you have also your cameras on. Okay, so we can. Sorry. Okay, just a moment. I'm still admitting some students. Still coming, so you can type your name in the chat while I'm admitting other students, and we are almost ready to start. So, well, again, hello everyone. And before we start, I would like to start with maybe some comments that you have, some questions, some doubts about the Unit 2 that we finished already. The most important points that I would like to know, if you don't have any doubts, is about the grades, because you can check your grades in the platform. It should be available, so it should be easy for you to find. If not, so I can give you the instructions or like kind of explanation how to find it. So, well, that's very important that you can see your feedback, that you can see your grades, okay? Because they are available on the platform. And most of the time you receive feedback, personal feedback in in the final task. So you can see it also in the gradebook, but you can also you also receive a general summary and feedback in the forum Unit 2 that you've participated. And at the end, you receive well, kind of a summary and feedback. So I really suggest you to read if you can. I think you're still available to reply or comment on the summary or feedback. So that's about Unit 2. Is there anybody? Okay. Is there a grade for the forum? Yes, of course. There is a one, you have a syllabus at the beginning of the course. Okay, so this is all general information that you should first see before you start even Unit 1. Okay, you have general information, what the purpose of the course, what objectives, what dates, what delivering dates, what participations you have. So you have all deadlines, yes, and feedback rate. I didn't understand what means a feedback rate. Marcelo, if you want, if you have questions, you can.
Yes, a specific grade on the forum that you provide as a feedback, because I see that it's 5 points, but for
And
example,
at the end of the forum, so you need to go back to the forum, scroll it down, and the last post will be my post. And I provide a general feedback for after I finish reading your posts, right? I provide a general feedback for the forum. Okay. In the final task, you might receive, if it's excellent, maybe just excellent. But if there are some mistakes, I might comment on what you have to improve, what you have to pay attention to in order to improve. So in the final task, you have personal feedback, right? In the forum, you have a general feedback, and it is in the forum. So you should be able to go back to the Unit 2 forum and see it. Yeah. If you haven't done it yet, so you still have chance, right? Also, you can write a confirmation that you read it. And if you maybe got more ideas from the summary, and you can also write something for the feedback and summary, right? Yes. And well, you're supposed to be able to see all the grades, right? In the like a grading card. and feedback on the site. So basically in the forum, you will not have on the grading card, the feedback, because I give a general feedback to everyone at the end of the forum, okay? And you have also the assignment help forum. Well, this one I'm not grading, right? This is only for you to interact. If you have doubts, if you want to share with the ideas, so this forum, you can even participate anytime, right? Even if you don't need it, but you got some ideas from this forum participation, you can also comment something. For unit 1, Valeria, I sent you. I didn't understand what do you mean correct task. Valeria?
Teacher, I just checked and I sent you for unit 1 an incorrect task for another subject. I'm sorry. I just sent you the correct one. I'm sorry, teacher.
Yes, I was trying to contact you. That's, guys, very important that you also pay attention to the messages that I sent in the platform, right? Try to reread them. I always label them with my name. So, because if you receive a message, you might receive also a message from other teachers. So you can scroll up and down and check if you don't have any new messages. So yes, I remember, Valeria, I was trying to contact you. I put it in the feedback and I think I sent you a message to tell you that you needed to re-upload because it was from a different subject. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so any other comments that you have? No, so we can start. Yeah. Okay, so we are going to discuss today a little bit of the study material of the unit 3. Also, we will get some examples of the task, final task, and actually what the main idea, main purpose of this unit. So, and I think we would need to also have a break and come back in order to be able to finish all the doubts and all the questions, as we do not take 4 hours a week. I do not want to force you to come and have synchronous sessions for days. So sometimes we would need to have this like 1 hour at least of the session, right? And Zoom doesn't give this chance, so that's why we would need to leave and come back, right? It is only let us be here 40 minutes. And well, so then at the end, I hope we have enough time, and if somebody of you can want to ask questions or doubts, to clarify doubts, so we can do it, okay? So I think we can start. Thank you for coming, and I'm really glad to see all of you here. Actually, I hope you have still energy to finish this week. I hope you are excited about your vacation time, but well, we still have these 2 or 3 days, right, before we finish. So the topic of this unit was the ethics and values of teachers. And actually, I started this unit with prepared for your study material with a reflection about ethics and values of favorite teachers. We have discussed this topic in unit 1, 2, and you took favorite teachers as examples, right? So you had a chance to read the examples of your classmates and get ideas what actually ethics and values of good teachers, of favorite teachers are. So I would like you to think of these values that many favorite teachers share. Okay, so what ethics and values many favorite teachers have in common? Okay, that we actually, if you have this answer in your study material, you can read it. Okay. Do we have volunteers? I really hope. I know it's late. I hope for active participation. So if there are anybody, is there anybody?
Respect, I think.
Yes, just let
Robles, Cedillo.
Jesus, right?
Arturo. Sí.
Yes, okay. So respect. Okay, how does a respect can be shown in a school activities? How does the teacher show it in activities that she is a respectful person? Give me an example. What do you refer with the respect?
Well, the teachers always talked in a way that doesn't sound rude and insulting. So, and calm at the same time. So it feels like he has a respect toward the students.
Uh-huh. Yes, right. And sometimes students ask several times the same question, right? And say, sorry, teacher, can you repeat it again? Or they do not pay attention, or well, or they don't understand, right? It can be also. So, and teachers actually takes this like breathing and okay, again, let's do it again. So, and respectfully repeats, right? The instructions, the answer, or if there is a request, right? So maybe also a reply and say no or yes, right? In respectful way, right? So communicating in respect, showing respect to students. Okay, thank you, Jesus. Ana Marlene.
I also have responsibility because teachers, well, some of my favorite teachers are very responsible with their classes. They prepare themselves and they prepare the class, and that is the main thing that they must show, and they lead by example when they have the class all prepared with all the stuff and all the material and all the videos and everything checked up twice, 3 times, I don't know, because they check all the, right now with the technologies, they must check that the presentation is working. Of course, there are things that you cannot control, but you can see when a teacher is prepared and aware of the conditions of the material that is going to present.
Excellent. Actually, Ana Marlene, well, this is the basic value, respect, and responsibility that you actually had in reading material, right? This is the basic ethics and values for any kind of any professional teacher. But actually, responsibility also brings together, brings to this value also punctuality, organization, right? Because all these examples that you just mentioned, right? Teacher is responsible, but if you're not organized, it's difficult to show. I'm responsible, but how can I show it, right? So if I have it organized, it is neat, nice, it has a systematic order in some way, right? So students can get used to something. Obviously, the first time you might be lost, they might be confused because obviously information sometimes can be overwhelming at the beginning, but they can get used to it, right? And they see the teacher is trying to organize and have it explanation, right, for students. And well, being prepared for professional teacher means also to also have the plan B, right? I remember the last session I was stressed because I wanted to use this presentation, but I have also the PowerPoint presentation, right? But the thing what I don't like about PowerPoint presentation is when I share, I cannot see you. I see only one picture and that's it. And I see only my presentation, but I want to interact with you. I want to see you. I was looking for this program so I could share the screen and also see you, and so you could see me, right? But I was able to fix it, even though I had a plan B, my PowerPoint presentation, but actually I didn't need to use it. So that's actually also helps a lot teachers to show their professional skills and value, right, of being responsible. Very good example. Thank you. Well, let's continue. We're going to mention today more values. We'll discuss more ideas. But before we, continue on see specific examples, let's think of a definition. What is the teaching philosophy for you? So what is teaching philosophy? How would you explain it? Okay, maybe you have your notes so you can quickly check. Teaching philosophy. Anybody who would like to comment? Michelle, what do you think? Michelle, Alejandra. What is?
Well, I think that we must teach the way we would like to be taught.
Okay.
Because we need empathetic when we become teachers. We need empathetic to understand what our students need.
But actually, well, we need to, that's actually true. We need to try to understand. But as you know, we have so many different students with different likes and needs. And it is a very hard job to feed, right, the needs of all students, right? But as you say, it's a very good example. Many teachers are the way they are because this is how they want to be taught, right? So we're talking about professional teachers, right? If they know the strategy, everything. So they usually teach the way they would like to receive the classes, right? Anna Marlene wanted to add something.
Yeah, the teacher's philosophy is it involves everything that you put into your lesson, since the attitude that you take, the methodology that you use, the tools that you also use, everything goes into your philosophy. And what Michelle said, for example, that you must teach according to all your students' needs, and every student is different and has a different way to learn, a learning style. So you are teaching by, I would like to say that I like to teach in a humanistic base, and with the taking into consideration the bark and the learning styles. So that is my philosophy. That is what I like to put into my classes.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Anna Marlene. Yes, that's actually, you're totally right, right? Teaching philosophy involves many aspects, right? Well, starting, it is the set of teaching beliefs, right? And practices. So, and practices includes everything, not only what we believe is correct, not only what we believe is the good way of teaching, right? But also what we put in practice, right? For example, it includes not only one's beliefs about the teaching, right, and learning process, but also concrete examples of the ways in which we as teachers enact right, these beliefs in the classroom, how we put it into practice, right? What material we use, how we present it. So how these values, right, we use these values in the classroom to improve learning, right? Or have this learning process. And well, there is a note that I added for you. One of the best ways to understand actually teaching philosophy of of different teachers, right? Is by observing and reflecting on teachers' attitudes and virtues, right? So that's why this task that you had, the final task, was observation. You had to observe, for example, if you're teaching, observing your teaching, how actually you teach, right? That your attitudes, virtues, the tools that you use actually show your values and ethics in the classroom. Okay, so how these values are represented, how these beliefs are represented in your practice. And some of you were asking about what dairy is. Well, this is a record, right, that you take. If you are not teaching, it was also possible for you to observe your own classes, the observing how teachers explain or deal with different problems, and how actually this experience, right, while solving the problem or dealing with different situations, impact or represent the values and ethics of the teacher, right? So that was the main goal, right? As you had, one of the objectives of this unit was to identify how teachers promote certain values and ethics in their classroom work, in the activities, right? Well, even if we could consider inside and outside, maybe after class activities, right? And how they influence students' learning language. So that was one of the main objectives of this um, final task, right? So in the assessment help forum, I provided additional information of what you can do, the different example. So in general, you have to observe and comment on this behavior, on this conduct of the teacher, and how you could identify those values, right? The teacher promotes in the class. And well, I wanted to say something about the forum. Okay, so then many of you asked me the very general question. Believe me, it's very difficult when you say, teacher, what should I do? Obviously, it's impossible that you do not understand anything, right? If there is might be one word or two words that you do not understand in the task, so maybe you can try paraphrase and how you understand, so I can lead you, right? But if you ask me to explain, I would need to explain the whole material that you need to study. Obviously, what I will tell you, read the study material, reflect on the study material, and then maybe some words, some definitions might be similar, like conduct, behavior. They're similar, so you might confuse them. It's okay. But if you give me more specific questions, what is confusing, that really would help you and me, right? Because if you keep asking me, teacher, I still don't understand what to do, what I have to do, that means you're not reading the study material if you do not know anything, right? But if you're confused about the like dairy, what is dairy? What do you refer with the dairy, right? Okay, so then I could explain, you have, let's say, at least 3 days, observe different teachers, and then you can choose several activities where the teacher had to deal with the problem or situation or explanation, and you clearly see these values and ethics represented by the teacher. So you can comment on this behavior, and well, that's the task, right? That's what's the task. Okay, so let's continue. I would like you to see an example, and I would need a help. Who is a good reader? Who would like to read it for us? For the intonation. Practice reading. Anybody? Linda, thank you, Linda. Go ahead, Linda.
The teacher's philosophy of education is that all students are unique and must have a stimulating educational environment where they can grow physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially. She shows desire to create this type of atmosphere where students can meet their full potential. She provides a safe environment where students are invited to share their ideas and take risks. Therefore, there are 5 essential elements that are conducive to learning in her classes. 1, the teacher always acts as a guide. 2, students have access to hands-on activities. 3, students are able to have choices and let their curiosity direct their learning. 4, students have the opportunity to practice skills in a safe environment. And 5, technology is incorporated into the school day.
Okay, thank you, Linda. Linda, what do you think? What value or ethics might be represented after we read this description of the teacher work and philosophy? What kind of value or ethics? Well, value could be, you can mention the value that is like clearly seen.
Well, someone that is committed.
Okay, committed. Any other values?
Responsible.
Responsible. Okay, well, thank you. Well, actually, you can see that this passage is an example of a strong statement of teaching philosophy, because it puts students where they belong in education, like a student-centered, right, teaching, right, at the front and at the center of teachers' focus, right? And it means that actually teacher tries maybe to develop, or let's say teacher develops and practices the integrity, right? As important value in her teaching, responsibility, commitment to her job can be, right? Teacher also maybe, well, let's say examines and verifies this professional value by always ensuring that students needs, right? Maybe different styles of learning, right? Become like a primary focus of the lesson, of this teacher's lesson, right? So that's actually how we can observe the values, right? When seeing a description, how teacher work in the classroom. Okay, let's look at the second example, and then we're going to compare two examples, okay? So let's read the example 2. Anybody who would like to help me? Valeria, go ahead, Valeria. Thank you.
Yes. Teachers believes that she is morally obligated to enter the classroom with only the highest of expectations for each and every one of her students. Thus, the teacher maximizes the positive benefits that naturally come along with any self-fulfilling prophecy. She thinks that with dedication, perseverance, and hard work, her students will rise to the occasion. In her activities, teachers try to develop open mind, a positive attitude, and high expectations to the classroom each day. Teachers believe that her responsibility is to bring consistency, diligence, and warmth to her job in the hope that she can ultimately inspire and encourage such traits in the students as well.
Okay, thank you. So, what do you think? What, Valeria, what value is represented in this description? What is the important value for this teacher? Is, what do you think? Freedom? Oh, that was for the first one, right? For the first one, I think was also freedom, right? That was one of the, I didn't know, I just saw this, Adriana. Or also for the second example. Adriana, what do you think about the second example?
To be honest, teacher, I don't know.
No?
Maybe like
Optimism. We have Alejandra adding optimism. Okay. Positivity. Anybody else who would like to mention? Well, let's look at this like from, in other words, how we can see it. So, well, the teacher tries to emphasize the moral objective of teaching. What way? Like she tries to hold each student to the highest expectations, right? And ensure that each one is diligent in their studies, right? Probably teacher will not give up on even a single unwilling student, right? Those who reject to participate, to do the task, right? So teacher is showing commitment, right? She would not give up. She really wants to get the best results, maybe through the positive attitude, but she expects everybody reach their highest point, right, of learning process. So this practice shows that teacher believes that dedication and perseverance are the most important values to be developed, right? Commitment, dedication, perseverance. So this might be the value. So if I ask you, what teacher would you like to have? The first example or the second? What is the difference between these two teachers? What teacher, what kind of teacher would you prefer? Number 1 or 2? You can write number 1 or 2 in the chat. Let's see who wins. Two, okay, two, two, two. Wow, number two is winning. Really? You are surprising me, number one. Okay. But anyway, number two is winning. Well, you know what? You have totally different answers. Most of you answered two, right? In the morning shift, I had most of the students that chose number one. Okay, so we can say that number one teacher is more flexible, is positive, right? And giving chance. They don't know what they want. That's you're talking about the morning shift.
No, this shift.
This shift, you don't. Okay, so you think number one is better.
Yes, obviously,
Why?
obviously
Why?
it is.
Why?
Because, well, at least at my point of view, I would prefer a teacher that helps you to do the things, and if you do wrong, it will be like, it doesn't matter. You did right, you tried, but it goes like this. And since there, you will be I think it will be more possibilities to go farther, because otherwise, if they put you like, oh no, you did wrong, and that's wrong, it's like you're putting a student like in a point of how can I say it?
You have to
Afraid,
do.
afraid, and
Okay. Yes.
probably he will not be able to go farther because that
can't.
mistakes and that
Uh-huh.
fear to be wrong.
So you mean the
So
students, if they are expected too much, they would just give up, right? If they cannot do it.
yes, and if they do wrong, I mean, it's like, it doesn't matter, you did right, it was going that way, but not really, it was this way. I don't know, I believe that's my belief.
Okay, very good. Okay, Anna Marlene, do you disagree or you want to add something?
No, I just want to say that it's interesting how we see the same thing with a different perspective, because I actually consider that in this example, the teacher is encouraging the students with her own personality, with her own efforts, and well, I would feel it's like I said, it's for him, it's not the best option, but for me, I think it would be like encouraging, and it will make me feel good to say, okay, I did my best, here it is. And that it doesn't say that the teacher is gonna be, that the teacher is how can I say it, that she gets upset if you don't do it. I mean, all that it says here is that she's very positive and energetic and charismatic. So
yeah, well, professionally, if we get mad, we shouldn't show it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, but it doesn't say in the description, right? It is not seen in the class. Okay, well, actually, guys, you are totally right. We can see it in a different way, and even we can interpret this description in different way. The thing is, that's actually what shows why we have different favorite teachers, right? We see values in different way, and I will tell you that actually both teachers have a good, let's say, plus and minus. For example, the first teacher might be very successful in developing this friendly atmosphere, but if she goes too much friendly, right? I mean, to being too friendly. So in this way, she might disencourage some of the strong students who really want to go more, right? Who think that they can do more. So in this case, they will just do whatever the let's say, why would I do more if teacher accepts the easy work, the something that I can do easily. I don't need to go or like give more of me, right? So in this case, some students, strong students, might be disencouraged, right? Dismotivated. And that's a negative point in some way. On the other hand, the second teacher, when you actually show that you expect the most, the best from your students, And if teacher on time doesn't notice that some students cannot get what she wants, right? As Eddie, right? I think Eddie said, some of them might be, well, disencouraged and give up, right? Because if I cannot do it, what other students do, so they might think, okay, I'm halfway, so maybe if it's possible, I retake the course, so I need to go, or I'm lost. And this is another negative point, right? It's good for strong students because they learn more, right? You can learn more if you actually have these high expectations, right? That a teacher is setting, right? So, well, we can always be careful, right? As much as possible. So one gives you material, but the second gives you good mental health. Well, maybe, well, we don't have anything like about the second material, but maybe also teacher can provide material, right? So maybe combination of both, right? Combination of both would be great, right? Okay, thank you. And we have 1 minute to left, so I do not want to continue with the next very interesting question. And we come back in a minute, okay? So I'm going to close this session and I'm waiting for you to come back, okay, guys? So I have 23 participants right now, so I would like you to come back, please. Okay? So see you in a minute.